up. Tell you the terrorists and turban is forming up. I don't believe it when they shooting Walmart up. Shopping the music till God say my timing up. Every day we grind from dawn to dusk. Living out a suitcase, yeah. Living out a suitcase, yeah. Had me all beat like Blueface, 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 yeah.
Man. Let me do something real quick. This feels good. That feels a lot better. His lights is a little bright. And I'm a little nervous. Welcome to the Work Show, where all we do is talk about work. I am your host, Trey Tuck. This channel that I use, that we've been using, I use it for a multitude of things. I want to start bringing shows here. I want to bring my podcast back. That's one thing that I definitely want to do. I've been working on figuring out how I wanted to configure it and how I wanted to do it, but I've been getting some inspiration from people, and people have been kind enough to kind of tell me, encourage me to use my voice more. So I'm going to use my voice more. The podcast is going to continue. I took a long hiatus because I had to figure out some things in life. And as you all know, sometimes in life you gotta take a step away from the things that you love and care about to come back a little bit stronger and better. So that's what I did. Shout out to all the people that are in here. Those who are listening, whenever you're listening, you'll be able to find this podcast wherever you listen to podcasts at. So, one second. Sorry. So, beautiful thing about what's going on and where I've been at. This won't be like the last one I did, episode 18, where I was like, yeah, I'm coming back, and then I didn't come back, right? So I had a lot of shit going on. I finally figured it out. So I just been getting my stuff together, figuring out what's important to me, what's important to what I want to do going forward. So, let's kick this show off, man. Let's kick this show off. I'm happy to be back. The mic sounds better. I don't have to do so much fucking editing that I was doing before. Obviously, we can continue to grow, but I'm so happy and proud to be doing this. So let's get into it, right? So we'll start with the recap, right, of Thursday. And also, just so everybody knows, every Friday at 7:30, 7 o'clock, I'm going to do it live, and then the audio will be available the next day. Sunday, the YouTube will be available, and so on and so forth, right? So that's kind of what we got going on right now. But yeah, let's get to it, man. Yesterday was Juneteenth, right? And for those who don't know what Juneteenth is, it is the official liberation day for Black Americans. Such a beautiful holiday, right? Beautiful celebration. I hope you guys spent it celebrating like you would July 4th. I want to start finding ways to essentially treat that like July 4th, right? Like, we go out of our way to get fireworks and get all this other stuff for July 4th, which is awesome. But Juneteenth is like really, really, really for us. You know what I'm saying? So just to kind of keep that in mind, and just shifting the culture. I mean, it's been around since 1865, but I do understand that a lot of people have not heard about it because it hasn't been national. It was never a federal holiday until 2021. So it makes sense to why people may not know or may not celebrate it. I did an event yesterday in Plainville, and I got to host the third annual Juneteenth event that they had there. Super dope. I think it's always cool when you see people who are not black and they kind of just celebrate and they're open to it, right? Because that's all you want at the end of the day is just everyone to be open to the idea of something new. And it's funny because you see like like you see white people and you see them trying to find a way to feel comfortable in the space. White people, I can guarantee you that maybe in like 2-3 years it will start to feel a little bit more familiar, but for now, like, it's just trying to figure out what we're doing and what it's all about. But once we got the idea, like once we ran through enough Juneteenth so everyone knows where it started and how these things happen, I want to do like concerts and celebrations and shit like that where it's not as much of a informational piece, more as it's more of a just a piece, right? Like it's more something that everyone is gonna enjoy. So super dope. Give me 1 second, guys. I got an idea. Want to do. Let's see how this works. Excuse me. And while I do this, I got a couple new sounds. One of my favorite ones, right? That's like when something is going absolutely positively wrong, right? And then I have this one, right? I probably shouldn't play this since recently was Juneteenth, but I always find it funny. As the commentator was watching, he was watching Russell Westbrook. I guess he did a dunk, and I don't know. I don't know what kind of racism he tapped into, but he was just like, Russell Westbrook's out of his cotton picking mind. And, it's not funny. I think he got fired, but it's like, it's nigga funny. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense to you. But yeah, shout out to the new listeners. Shout out to everyone who's out there. Shout out to everyone who will be hearing this, the official workforce. I will be figuring out how to implement at the end of the show, something where I can be answering questions or people can call in and ask questions and have a conversation, good or bad, like call into the show type shit. So I think that'd be really cool. And we're going to figure that. But first couple months, I just want to get the flow of the show going, get the supporters in here and just get my chemistry right again. And we could go from there. So what are we getting into first? What's first on the docket? What do we have? Juneteenth was awesome. Yeah, I got to host it. Okay, we covered that. So let's get into some news, right? Let's get into the news because the news has been hectic, man. Let's get into the news, man. Let's see what we doing here. The news. All right. Y'all like my little transitions? All right. So you guys are going to have to forgive me because I'm going to have to look up for those that are watching. But, man, let's get into it, man. I've been seeing a lot about Iran versus Israel. Essentially, we might be in the process of World War III. For those Americans who don't know, our commander-in-chief, Donald Jr. Trump, or whatever the fuck his name is, he's been very outspoken, I would say, about the war. But not outspoken enough, right? Like, so I had to do some research because I wasn't really sure, like, how this even started. But Israel and Iran are sending bombs at one another, and it is not good. Prayers to both sides, civilians who are losing lives in this petty shit. And, Donald Trump is instigating per usual, talking about he's gonna get the Ayatollah and but then he goes and says, hey, we're gonna give him 2 weeks to figure it out and come to the table and work a deal. Like, this dude is so weird. He's puffing his chest at one point, and the other point he's not doing anything. Take that as you may. I'm not an expert, so I'm not gonna be on this podcast giving expert opinions. I'm gonna be giving my opinion on things, and if it's wrong, I'm always open to learning more. And if it's right, then you just have to shut the fuck up and listen to what I'm saying, right? So, let's see some of this footage, right? Let's see what this is. And while we're getting to it, I would like to know you guys' thoughts, especially on, what's going on. But here we got a clip here. I'm gonna play it. Jeez, bro. That's lobby footage from a hotel. Jeez, man. Let me see that again. Jeez. You can clearly see like the missile coming in. Like, that's absurd. So let's read into it a little bit, right? This is from AP News for those who aren't with us visually. Tel Aviv, Israel and Iran traded strikes a week into their war this Friday. And President Trump weighed in on U.S. military's involvement, and key European ministers met with the Iran's top diplomats in Geneva. So everyone's trying to, right now, everyone is trying to essentially, put a lid on this thing, because nobody wants to. War is good for business, and it's also bad for business, man. Like, depending on what side you come out on, and these people they're talking about nukes. Like, we're not talking about classic, we're not talking like the old Cold War, and we're talking like cyber attacks and nuclear bombs, man. Like, this shit is not pretty, right? U.S. military presence in the Middle East. So this kind of gives a little scope on where they're at. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, though, right? To give diplomacy a chance, Trump said he will put off deciding for up to 2 weeks whether he wants to join Israel. That's what he was saying, right? I'm gonna give him 2 weeks until before I decide that I want to join the war, and I want to essentially help Israel, right, against Iran. U.S. participation most likely would include strikes against Iran's underground Fordo uranium enrichment facility. That's where they're making the nukes, according to them. America has bunker busters, which is funny because I use them shits in Call of Duty. But yeah, let's see. Whether or not the U.S. joins, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, I don't know, said Israel's military operation in Iran will continue for as long as it takes to eliminate what he calls an existential threat to Iran's nuclear program. As negotiations ended in Switzerland, European officials expressed how the future hope for future negotiations. So Iran's open, right? Iran previously agreed to limit the uranium enrichment and allow international inspectors access to nuclear sites under 2015 deal with the U.S., France, Germany. Let's see what else we got here. But Trump pulled the U.S. unilaterally out the deal during his first term. Great. Iran began enriching uranium up to 60%. Jeez. That's hard. That's hard. Uranium's used to create nuclear weapons, ladies and gentlemen. The war between Israel and Iran erupted June 13th. So that's literally this week, or a week, 7 days ago. With Israel, geez, look at this number right here. At least 657 people, including 263 civilians, have been killed in Iran and more than 2,000 wounded. And Iran retaliated by firing 450 missiles and 1,000 drones. Oh my gosh.
Out of his cotton-picking mind.
1,000 drones and 450 missiles. That's how they retaliated. Sheesh, bro. Uh, worries rise over the perennials of attacking Iran's nuclear. Man, long story short, long story less long. This shit is going to get worse before it gets better. You know what I'm saying? I think that, um, I don't know, because Iran has already been talking about. I gotta find that clip online where they were just burning the American flag and talking about places where they would strike the U.S. if they had to. Um, if they have to, if the U.S. I was talking to my girl earlier. If the U.S. has to go to war, we'll do what we got to do. But it does war. You know, casualties are always a part of war, and unfortunately, they're pawns on a chessboard. And you know, everybody is okay with war until it's somebody you love that you lose, right? So it's like that's the tough part about it. That's the part where, you know, we get a little confused if we want it or not. And I generally don't. I'm not for war. Like, I'm for peace. I'm for war if it has to happen. But you know, a lot of the stuff is just political games and political positioning. Um, how did the latest conflict start? This is the information that I was trying to get because I really didn't know. This is from the BBC News. Israel and Iran have continued to exchange strikes. Many rhetorics from both sides. Where did it start? Israel launches Operation Rising Lion and Iran retaliates. So this is how it started, ladies and gentlemen. On Thursday, June 12th, the Israel Defense Forces, the IDF, told people in Tehran, which included military districts, buildings, to evacuate. Hours later, the first volley of strikes were reported at 3:30 local time on Friday. Capital was hit. Jeez. But why? Why? I wish somebody was in here to tell me this. I don't know why. On Thursday, Iran retaliated. In the first wave of strikes, Israel killed several top Iranian military figures. Hussein Salami, commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. And when you start killing like lead, generals and shit, man, people don't like that, man. And there's no way you can kind of back down from that. You kind of have to go to war. You have to. You have no choice. Let's see. How did we get to this point? This is the information we need. Netanyahu said on Friday that the strikes were a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. He said the operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove the spread. As Israeli military officials told the BBC, Iran had enough nuclear material to create a nuclear bomb within days. So this was done because they thought Iran was going to create a nuclear bomb. Iran has said it never sought to develop nuclear weapons and that its nuclear activities are peaceful. So they basically, from what I'm reading, is that Israeli operatives told the BBC the reason for them sending the strikes was because that Iran had enough nuclear material to create a nuclear bomb. So where I'm confused, and as I go on, I'll learn more. As I read, I'll learn more. If a country is not creating a nuclear weapon, right? Who the fuck cares what they're doing in their own country? Especially if it's been peaceful. Like, if it's peaceful, I don't understand how anybody else can tell you what to do with your weapons. But I know that's some type of regulation, that they have within the country. So I guess I get that, but I don't know why you would bomb them. Iran has this is the part that's important because this is truthful. Iran has long maintained its nuclear program for peaceful civilian purposes only. It has several facilities around Iran, but many countries, as well as the global nuclear watchdogs, are not convinced that the program is civilian purpose alone. But if they haven't, like, I'm just confused, because if they haven't done anything, then it would have to be the latter. It would have to be that they've been using nuclear weapons for peace, or creating nuclear programs for peace. And of course, they're going to arm themselves. Who wouldn't? Why would you not? I mean, at any given moment, you can have one of these countries like the U.S. that might want to invade them. So yes, you have to be strapped. That's like someone telling Americans that we can't have nuclear programs and all this other shit. Keep your eyes out on the news. It's a lot of things going on right now, and I don't want people to get caught up in the rhetoric of the things that Trump says. Like he said, he said that, kind of smoke bomb, which he always does on Juneteenth. He was like, there's too many federal holidays where people are taking days off. Like, it's just like, okay, bro, like, we get it. You kind of use your your prowess as a fire starter, and you use that shit to your advantage, which, hey man, I get it, but we can't always believe everything that happens. Like, it's just like, we got to kind of think for ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, thoughts and prayers to both sides. I did not mean to hit that button. Thoughts and prayers to both sides. But that's kind of like the big news that's going on right now. So as the week goes on, I'm definitely going to be taking notes and keeping tabs on what is going on. But we're gonna move forward. This is what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to talk about. Man, I'm late. This happened 3 days ago. I'm late, but I heard this shit. Oh my God. Oh man. Yo. It feels great to know how, like, it just feels great to know how hip hop works, right? If you're a lover of, like, just hip hop, this shit is amazing. 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 Do you hear me? This shit is amazing. I don't care what no one has to say about Pusha T. This shit is fire. So the Clipse released a cut from their album. Oh, whoa, chill. I need the boo sound out here. I'll cut that off. So the Clipse released a video. I've been scrambling, yo. I've been looking all around for this shit, man. I've been looking all around on the internet. I'm trying to find out, like, where this song is at, because I want to hear this shit in the gym, and I can't find it. So I guess it's only on YouTube and Twitter, right? But the Clipse have released their second single, what it looks to be, off of their album. What is their album called? What's it called? What is it called? Let God Sort Them Out. Woo! Fire. Let God Sort Them Out. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It kind of like runs semblance of the type of shit that him and No Malice are on, man. Like, they're not really fucking around when it comes to the shit that they're saying, and they're not really, like, they're just getting to it. Anybody that has smoke with Pharrell, they're getting to it. They're addressing it. I was listening to Ace Trumpets. I don't know if you guys heard Ace Trumpets, but he had a couple of Jim Jones. I'm gonna play a little bit of. He had a couple of Jim Jones shots in there, and I think that excuse me. I'm sorry. I think that he had a couple shots in there on Ace Trumpet, excuse me, and I don't think that people really kind of took to it. But we're gonna get to it. But I gotta play this for y'all, yo. I need the flex bomb on this shit, man. I need the flex bomb. Hold on. And Flex did it. I heard Flex ran that flex bomb, something crazy. But I need to drop one on this shit. Or I need to create a drop. a fire drop, right? Let me get this sound effect in there, man. I gotta drop this shit. Man. Damn. Let's get to it. Holy shit.
16,000 square. Woo! 8 million up there, 2 million down here.
Sample is crazy.
When I was born, grandmama could see it. I be Bentley driven and very strategic. RM sleeve, no diamonds are needed. Floors are heated, so be it, so be it. Fucking with P, get something to meet you. Your soul don't like your body, we help you free it.
Damn.
Then we wait for TMZ to leak it. It ain't no secret.
So be it, so be it. Ah! This shit is hard. Let me run this back. Oh man. This just feel good, man. This feels good, man. This feels good. And pair that with the fact that the Clipse haven't released an album in years. Yo, Pusha T has literally, he's one of my favorite gym artists. When I'm in the gym or I'm riding around, I need to hear some Push. I need to hear like Future, cause Push be talking that shit. My fault. Let me run this.
16,000 square. 8 million up there, 2 million down here.
The video simplistic too is hard. Like all this shit is tough.
When I was born, grandmama could see it. I be Bentley driven and very strategic. RM sleeve, no diamonds are needed. Floors are heated, so be it, so be it. Fucking with P, get something to meet you. Your soul don't like your body, we help.
Fucking with P, like they're not playing about Pharrell. I know Pharrell been taking a lot of flack because, you know, him and Chad split and you know, Pharrell ain't really been producing the hottest shit we've heard. So it's like, man, keep going.
Help you free it. Then we wait for TMZ to leak it. It ain't no secret, so be it, so be it. Smoke. So be it, so be it. Smoke.
Woo!
So be it. CLIP, SEFB, A-Ball LV. I can show you how to bust a brick if you let me. I'm on a gram like confetti. Switch is ready. She leaning on Celine cause she ain't stepping in Giuseppe. Catch up.
Yo, as a rapper, to be in that pocket, and crazy. It sounds simple. Like as a listener, right? If you don't appreciate rapper, you never actually had to rap. As a listener, my fault, I didn't turn the mic down a little bit. As a listener, it sounds simple, but it is not simple to get in the booth and do that and make it sound good. It's not easy. And this is just elite level entendres, and you just gotta listen.
$150 like each Pirelli. I got 8 of them, call me Andretti. If I'm not in the telly, selling the Yeti, then I'm twirling your bitch like she in spaghetti. Heavy, circle back and come and get this Kelly. And your ears too, if you want a blue like belly. Lot of jetting, Prada bedding, 911s. I'm the who's who with what's what. Papa heaven, fuck around and get your body traced trying to test me. Cause niggas that I'm with like to draw when it's sketchy.
Double entendre, gotta love them.
Around and get your body traced trying to test me. Cause niggas that
you talking about drawing on niggas the whole time.
Fuck around and get your body traced trying to test me. Cause niggas that I'm with like to draw when it's sketchy. They catch me, don't forget me. Resurrect me by your dog.
Niggas I'm with like to draw when it gets sketchy. The whole scheme was a fucking drawing scheme, bro. Oh,
tag the same place that they forget me. Ski.
This is culture.
I need this for my playlist.
So be it, so be it.
No, Malice is fire. He's going crazy.
Smoke.
He's going crazy.
So be it, so be it. You ain't solid, ain't valid, you ain't malice. Been quiet, ain't riot, you ain't Paris. Blow money, you owe money, we ain't balanced. You ain't believe, God did, you ain't Cal.
Oh man, keep going.
All black, back to back, this ain't traffic. Can't wrap your head round that, you ain't Arab. Y'all tweet, bird talk, we all parrots. Lone Star, cross the border, we like Dallas. 21, guns salute, we been savage. Tag 'em up, add 'em up, them niggas average. Fly 'em in, fly 'em out, only the baddest.
This shot here is so fire. Fucking fire. And the fact that they both got to do it and they both ain't looking, I think No Malice peeped at the image, but he don't peek at all. It's just ultimate synergy.
If I had her, then you had her, she never mattered. Wish upon the stars on my roof, they all scattered. Ain't no more Neptune, so peace Saturn.
Ain't no more Neptune, so peace Saturn. Oh man.
Ain't no more Neptune, so peace Saturn. Off the first ski up, they re-up. It's a pattern, like middlemen, they killing them. You know what happened.
This is culture in the first
Smoke.
place.
So this is where the controversy comes
so
along.
be it.
Oh my god.
Smoke. So be it. You cried in front of me, you died in front of me. Calabasas took your bitch and your pride in front of me. Her utopia had moved right up the street, and her lip gloss was popping. She ain't need you to eat. The net gon' call it the way that they see it, but I got the video I can share in AE it.
Push always got some type of Hey yo, Push is really living up to that T in his name, man. They calling that nigga Pusha T, bro. He always has some type of fucking T of some shit that niggas never knew before. Like that's what happens when you a solid nigga, bro. People just be themselves around you and you be yourselves around people, and then people just start showing you who they are, man. And you have a few ways you could choose to respond, but I mean, it just seemed like this nigga, as soon as I was that's why I make sure I'm doing this weekly and then hopefully bi-weekly, right? Because Ace Trumpers, he's talking about Kanye. And they did a GQ interview where he was talking about how, he don't respect Kanye no more because he showed him his weakness. And for those who've heard this before, I'm sorry, I'm late to the party. This is just my first time I get to hourly speak about it, so fuck y'all. And he's just like, man, I seen your weakness and I don't respect it. It's just like, as soon as this nigga sees like your flaw that is based upon like some hoe shit, it just seems like all the shit that he don't like is hoe. He don't like hoe shit, and that's okay. I've been seeing people online and killing him for kind of sharing his feelings, but to his point, right? Drake has been shooting at him and setting subs, and he didn't say shit. There's been Jim Jones shooting at him, sending subs, and he ain't saying shit. So it's like when he gets to talking behind the beat, and now he's spilling tea, right? Because it is in his name. Now people have a problem with it, and I don't have a fucking problem with it. My thing is, if you don't like the nigga, either box him or get on a beat, and we know how that happened.
They wouldn't believe it, but I can't unsee it. Lucky I ain't TMZ it. So be it, so be it.
This is culture in the first
Smoke.
place.
Beat is so crazy.
So be it, so be it. Smoke. So be it, so be it.
Simplicity is hella important, yo. Simplicity is hella important, man. When it comes to beats and shit, when it comes to music, you don't gotta have like the craziest shit in the world. It just has to be simple enough so whoever the artist is, they can just get in their pocket. Every beat ain't the same for everybody. You just gotta be able to get other artists in their pocket as a producer. It don't gotta be crazy. And Pharrell knows, like, I don't have to give these niggas too much. I just need to give them something abstract enough where they can do what the fuck they want to do. And they do it every damn time. Man. Hell of a way to spin off of the politics shit. Hell of a way. Let's get to this GQ article because there's a couple things on here that I thought were pretty interesting. So this is the GQ article, and they didn't release the full article. Excuse me. When it dropped because they wanted So Be It to have its own space, so I understand that. Yes, on the Thunderous, Jim Jones gets a whole verse for that run of interviews where he was, yep. Where's So Be It at? On So Be It. So on So Be It, Push and Malice kick their usual upper echelon, stunting over a sinister Pharrell beat, but things get spooky when Push closes the song with one final verse. While Push never calls Travis out directly, he pointed to reference of Utopia and an ex whose lip gloss is popping. No, he is not talking about Lil Mama, ladies and gentlemen. He's talking about Kylie Jenner. Just so we're on the same page. So here's the problem, right? Here's the issue that Push had. Let me see if I can find it. Alexander Edwards. Where is it at? Pretty much it's popping, pretty much erased any doubt who he's talking to, alluding to losing his pride, conspicuously mentioning Alexander A.E., best friends and right hand to Kylie, Kylie's ex Tyga. When I asked Push why he went in like that, he cited 2023 song Meltdown. So Meltdown is hard too. But Meltdown is basically, there's a verse on there where Drake is shooting at Pharrell and Travis Scott is Pharrell's man. So in rap ethics, right? So I believe in two things. I believe if niggas is gonna beef or somebody has beef with the person that you know, I feel like if you're in the middle of it, they should let you know, yo, I'm about to shoot at so and so. I'm just letting you know there's nothing you could do to stop it. If you can stop it, cool. But if you can't, you should at least be warranted a heads up of, yo, I'm about to shoot at this nigga just so you know. And it is what it is. So I guess based on this article, Pharrell or Travis Scott came into a Pharrell studio. So let me just read it. I know it happened, but let me just see if it's in here. Maybe they can place it better than I can. Drake had been throwing shots. The song comes from Drake declaring in a guest verse that he melt down the chains that I bought from your boss. Give a fuck about heritage and referencing classic peak Neptune's era jewelry that Drake bought off Pharrell, which is weird because Drake bought it. Like, like he was talking so spicy on the record, but he didn't fucking steal it off of him. He bought it. So it's like weirdo, more weirdo shit, but whatever. Here's the article right here. Here we're gonna wrap right here. This right here. We're gonna read this. Travis is in Switzerland on that song, but the fact that Utopia features production and vocals from Pharrell everywhere else on the album, and that Travis made a show of teasing. He made a show of teasing the album by filming himself playing it for Pharrell. So he played the album for Pharrell. So imagine a world, right, where someone's coming to one of your mentees is coming to you. He's like, yo, I got this song for you. And he's begging to get in the studio. And then he plays you the album that you're a part of. So he plays the songs, but he don't play the song or he don't say it, he don't mention it, the song where you're getting shot at as the mentor. He don't say nothing about it. Right? You'll feel some fucking type of way. And Pharrell's such a nice guy that he's not going to say anything. He's not going to do anything. But, I mean, like, that's kind of corny and that's fucked up, right? So, he made a show of teasing the album by filming it. And that didn't sit right with Push, who reveals he was also there that day. So, it was a Clipse session. So, they were in a Clipse session and he came through. The true context of that is we were in Paris literally working and he was calling P to play his new album. So Pharrell didn't ask him to come. He called him. Yo, let me come through. Let me come through and play some music for you, P. He came to Pharrell's studio at the Louis Vuitton headquarters where the Clipse recorded most of their Let God Sort 'Em Out album. He interrupted a session. So I don't know if you've ever been in a session before with music, but if you interrupt the session, my nigga, it kills the whole vibe. Absolutely kills it, right? No matter what it is, because like we're working on some shit, we're locked in, and you're doing some weirdo shit, right? That's happened to me a lot. Niggas are weird, bro. But let's see. He came to Pharrell's studio. He sees me and Malice there, no Malice there, and he's like, oh, man, everybody's here. He's smiling, laughing, jumping around, doing this fucking monkey dance. Push is crazy. He's doing this fucking monkey dance. We weren't into the music, but he wanted to play it, wanted to film us and Pharrell listening to it, and then a week later, you hear Meltdown, which he didn't play. He played the song, but not Drake's verse. Ooh. Push was quick to add that he doesn't hold Travis to any standard because, as he sees it, Travis has a pattern of remaining conveniently neutral when it suits him. He's done this a lot. He has no picks. He'll do this with anybody. He did it with Sicko Mode. I don't know if anybody remembers when Drake was shooting at Kanye on Sicko Mode, and Travis Scott was kind of just whatever with it. Like it was weird because that's your mentor. He's just weird, bro. Weirdo niggas. And like the thing is, this too is like the people that, you know, in my opinion, the people that come into hip hop spaces and they're like, yo, I want to be a rock star. It's like, yo, dog, like you're in this space, so you have to be held to the standard of what the hip hop standard is. And some of these niggas forget that. They come in, yo, I don't rap. Yes, you do, bro. You might make alternative music, but every basis your basis should be the hip hop standard. And I don't understand that. Hip hop is the only genre of music that people come into and they don't want to have to adhere to what the past created for them. Different conversation, different tangent, but let me keep going. He's done with He's done this a lot. He has no picks. He'll do it with anybody. He did it with Sicko Mode. Push then referenced Travis joined Future and Metro on stage and was excited for the Like That verse. I remember that shit. That was funny. And ignited the beef. He was on the Rolling Loud stage. Play that. I remembered it. Excuse me. He don't have no picks, no loyalty. He'll jump around wherever he feels is hot and cling on to it. We're not in your mix. Keep your mix over there. I've already dealt with lack of loyalty to his mentor, the guy he looks up to. I've been dealing with that corny shit that goes along with them, so it's like I'm in a whole nother place. Don't bring that shit over to my house. I just wanted to have that context. And honestly, Frazier, you got to realize I've been in Paris. I've really been making my joints. I've really been doing my shit. So he has every right to fucking shoot at him the way he shot at him. He has every right to do that. Like, I don't care what nobody says. My thing is, if you're going to if you're going to be in this hip hop shit, then you gotta adhere by certain rules. And you know, click hopping is Push has one of my favorite lines where he says, even if a nigga number better, never click hop. Even if a nigga's number better, never click hop. So even if somebody doing better than the people you with, you don't jump. That's just like man shit. Like that's just like having some type of moral code. Like you don't switch with the tide. You don't jump on the shit that is cool because it's cool. Like if you and your mans is down and out, then you and your mans figure out a way to get up out of it. You don't start switching because it's not suitable. That's just like some real snaky weirdo shit. And it seems like Travis, you know, he embodies some of that. Same dude that was talking about Mike Brown and, you know, there's things that he could have did to, it's just like, yo, dog, like certain people don't know when it's the time and the place for something. And unfortunately, you got to catch these strays. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? So that was like literally my highlight of the week. I didn't give a fuck about nothing else because nothing else was as important as hearing that. And like the sounds, man, there's something about sounds and sonics that you just can't you just can't get them. You can't get them from certain people no more. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. Shout out to No Malice. Shout out to Pusha T. July 11th, I think the album drops. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. Everything we've heard so far has been fire. Everything. Nothing that we haven't heard hasn't been fire. So I'm absolutely looking forward to it. And I want to keep continuing to support artists that just make good art. Not ones that just put shit out because it sounds hot or whatever the case is. All right, so let's get into some tech. Let's see what we got here. Let's get into some tech. How are we gonna do that? Fuck, how are we gonna do that? Let's get into some tech.
Trying to take over the world.
How we gonna do that, Tuck? Let's get into some tech, Tuck. Let's see what we're doing.
I'm trying to take over the world.
So there's not a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I spent a lot of time trying to adjust the way this whole setup worked. I didn't really have too much time to get the information that I needed to do. So this one's gonna be a lot of us reading. But like I said, the show is gonna consist of music, politics / news, sports, and tech. Because we need to be caught up on this stuff and we're all going to learn together. So regardless if I know the information, you might know the information, and we're supposed to be learning on this journey together. That's why I have this podcast, is to use my voice to educate and help and bring laughs, but also a public platform where people can feel free to share information that they might have so we can grow as a community. And then eventually we have Discords, and then eventually we have Twitter Spaces and things of that nature. But for now, this is what we're doing. If you're on, make sure you send us a follow. Definitely will help. A little shameless plug. I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream once we get to 100 followers, and I am currently at 56. So I need a lot more. All right, my fault. I was fixing the mic. I'm sorry. All right, so what do we have in tech? What big tech's band of execs will do in the army? So I don't know if anybody watches Marvel movies, but it looks like we're officially going to start having AI and fucking tech in the army. So it says Meta CTO Andrew Bosworth and leaders from OpenAI and Palantir have joined a detachment intended to make the U.S. Armed Forces leaner, smarter, and more lethal. Before we even get into the article, what does that sound like? Sounds like a bunch of Tony Starks. Like they're gonna try to figure out how to make Tony Starks in the army as we move forward. So when I read a tweet at Ford Notice Silicon Valley, I questioned Let's get there. The other newly commissioned officers, Kevin Weil, OpenAI's head product, blah 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 blah. These middle-aged techs were sworn into their post. Wearing camo fatigues as if they just wander off some army base in Kandahar to join corps. Status code, blah 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 blah. Chief of staff. Get me to the good shit, man. Get me to the good shit, man. The idea, he says, was to create an Oppenheimer-like situation. Oh, gosh. Have y'all seen Oppenheimer? They did him so fucking crazy in that movie, bro. Oh man, I felt so bad for him, yo. If you haven't seen Oppenheimer, you gotta watch that movie, man. He was so smart and so naive at the same time. It just reminds me of like Nikola Tesla, like people just creating these things and don't realize that the people that want these things are gonna do bad things with the things that they want. Like this shit is just wild, yo. Let me see. A former combat soldier who headed the veteran support at Walmart before joining has been pondering how to bring experienced technologists into service to update insufficiently tech savvy militia. Man, Oppenheimer. It's weird that the U.S. keeps throwing him into everything. Like the U.S. wanted to get Oppenheimer the fuck out of here. Who was it? Was it J. Edgar? No, it wasn't J. Edgar. Who was the president? See, now I'm on a tangent. I gotta figure this out. Hold on. Now I gotta figure out who was the president during Oppenheimer. Who was the president? Who was the president? Harry S. Truman. That's who it was. Did him fucking filthy. Did his ass filthy. Oppenheimer helped create the atomic bomb, man. Terrible. Sorry, let me get back to what I was just talking about. You just hear names and see things and you're like, man, it's such a revisionist history because they try to get him the fuck out of there. I don't want that crybaby back in here. He called Oppenheimer when he was sad and he was sad. Like he didn't want them to do the shit that they was about to do with it. So this is how they talking to the man who helped them create the atomic bomb that fucking bombed Japan. Like Hiroshima, man, it's just crazy. Sorry guys, I'm on a little tangent. Let me get to the good stuff. The Army also says that these hold on, where's it at? In a sign that's no longer taboo in the valley to face that its creations go hand in hand with boosting the force in the military. The program was fast-tracked and is now in operation 10 years ago. This probably would have gotten canceled. It's a much better state now. The 4 new officers, both men collaborated who have been vocal cheerleaders proclaiming that requires a tech-led military overhaul. So they're just overhauling the military with tech, basically. The 4 new officers are full members of the U.S. Army Reserve. Unlike other reservists, however, they will not be required to undergo basic training, though they will undergo less immense physical and shooting after the induction. They will also have the flexibility to work some of the blah, blah, blah. These men won't be sent into war. So what are they doing? What are they doing? I'm trying to read. What the fuck are they doing? One might assume the Army would have done extensive study of the specific talent required for this pilot program and pulled those for an open call of the best candidates, but they did not. So they just used tech, which tells me this is like some insider shit because they don't want this to go out, if it goes wrong. Like what I'm reading is, if it goes bad, then they know they can blame these people versus the blame being on them for requesting candidates. That's what I would do. Like if this is a pilot program, I'm gonna bring in similar to Oppenheimer, bro. This is the same shit. They brought in all these people, and Oppenheimer picked the people. So when it didn't go well, they just blamed it on him. They placed the blame on him. But let me see. That did not happen. Sankar helped recruit the other 3 future officers, all men. Anti-DEI, we know that. Lieutenant Colonel Sankar said, I want to wear the uniform, and I have 3 other guys willing to go with me. We'll confirm that he joined after a request. My big question is whether these men would... All right, this article's a dud. I'm not going to hold you. They're hiding a lot of shit in this article. It's a dud. We're going to go to the next one. Meta's Oakley smart glasses have 3K video. Has anybody ever seen the Ray-Ban? Like, have you ever used the Ray-Bans? The smart glasses? Let me show you. If you haven't seen the Meta glasses, fire, yo. I had to go to a tech conference, and they wanted to basically see how assistive tech could help. Oh, here they are right here. They wanted to see how assisted tech would help people who have different disabilities and things of that nature. And man, they had some great things there. They had a lot of they had glasses, they had like, Fitbits and things of that nature, but just a bunch of like feeding arms and stuff like that. So it was real cool, 3D printers, and it kind of gave me information that I could use going forward. But like, I want y'all to see what these glasses actually look like, because I might get a pair of these. Like, I would love a pair of these. I'm not gonna hold you. All right, let's see. Here it is. It's 3 minutes. Let's watch it.
That is not stopping at Ray-Bans anymore. This week, a verified Instagram account called Oakley Meta suddenly showed up, and yep, there's a product drop coming Friday, June 20th.
So first of all, oh shit, today, look at that. I don't know if you guys know, but 3K is fucking crazy quality. 3K is crazy quality for glasses. I think the glasses are only go up to 1080p, like just 1080p. Like, it's not.
Yeah, this
crazy.
is big. Oakley and Meta teaming
Let's listen
up.
to him.
That
Though. He knows
screams
more
sporty tech vibes all over. Now, this collab isn't.
Now this because we're gonna end it with sports, but this kind of ties into sports, and I've been thinking about this, right? So if you wear glasses, I wonder, like MLB, for example, they love Oakleys. And they play with glasses and they're allowed to. Are you allowed to play with smart glasses if you play in the MLB? Like, that would be crazy, right? Like, it would help. Well, it would be an enhancement. So I don't know. I'm gonna search that up when we finish this. But I think it's really cool how technology is moving forward. I don't know if anybody here is James Bond fans, but if anybody has ever been a James Bond fan, ever seen a James Bond movie when it was Pierce Brosnan and who's the other dude? Sean Connery. Some of the tech that they were showing in there was like unbelievable, right? And I think, we're not at the Jetsons yet, even though we have the capability to be at the Jetsons. Like, we have water powered cars, and we have cars that can fly, and we have all these things, but it's not like the Jetsons. But we have everything equipped to do it. I think now it's super cool. For example, like when you first were able to talk into your watch. Like, that was James Bond all the fucking way. And, the government has all these things, and they kind of gauge it through film to see how people will receive it. But just imagine everybody walking around with and the smart glasses. You're able to put your prescription in there. So if you're a person that needs glasses, you can wear your prescription, and you're talking, and it's all bone inducted. So, like, the sound isn't loud. It's only for you. Like, this shit is crazy, man, like where we're going in the future. And I think that I think that it's one of those cases where, like, if you don't understand it, even AI, like, I use AI as like a personal assistant. Yo, how do you do this? What do you do this? So, like, even understanding that we have these capabilities, we're taking them for granted for sure, and that's what humans do. But there's going to come a point in time where this shit gets so advanced that we don't even understand how it got here. Like, it's like, I always talk about the boiling frog analogy. They say that if you're if you wanted to put a frog in boiling water, it would jump right out. But if you put it in there and turn the heat up, then it won't know that it's being heated up, and essentially it'll boil to death. So I think that's what's going on with us. But let me finish the video. Let's finish the video.
Totally new info. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman mentioned back in January that Meta was working on smart glasses under the Oakley brand, built specifically for cyclists and athletes. And if you're picturing something like your regular Ray-Ban Meta glasses, hold up. These might be way more action-oriented. Unlike the sleek
What up, collective?
little side camera built into the Ray-Bans for casual day-to-day stuff. The Oakley version is rumored to...
that'll be hard. That will be hard. What? Inside of the football helmet, you got AI on the visor? What?
Casual day-to-day stuff.
Crazy.
The Oakley version is rumored to have a center-mounted camera. Yeah, right in the middle. Think GoPro, but in your face. Perfect for capturing trail rides, downhill runs, or whatever adrenaline-filled thing you're doing at the time. Now, to give you some context, there's a product called the Engo 2 heads-up display that looks a lot like Oakley's and has a tiny screen for showing stats like pace and distance. But Meta's Oakley glasses aren't expected to have a display. Instead, they'll likely focus purely on hands-free recording and live streaming, so no floating metrics in your face, but maybe a better Instagram reel of your mountain ride. If Meta sticks to its Ray-Ban Meta formula, expect the battery and all the tech stuff tucked into the arms of the glasses, not across the nose bridge like Engo did. It keeps things more balanced and wearable. And sure, fitness junkies might be hoping for stuff like a built-in heart rate monitor or workout sensors, but as of now, there's no solid leak pointing to that. These are looking more like a film your ride setup than a track your VO2 max kind of deal. And man, Meta's got momentum. Over 2 million Ray-Ban Metas sold, and they're aiming for 10 million a year by 2026.
Imagine if you had Meta stock, like when Meta first rolled itself out. Oh my gosh, you're caking right now.
Google's not sleeping on this either. They've teamed up with brands like Warby Parker and Gentle Monster to bring Android XR to smart eyewear. It's getting competitive fast. And then there's Apple. According to Bloomberg,
this is the next battle. This tech battle is going wireless. It's going phoneless. It's going, eventually, everyone's going to be walking around this bitch with glasses on and don't got no fucking seeing problems. Motherfuckers is going to be on glasses. You won't even see a phone. People just going to be walking through the streets of New York City talking to themselves. Everybody talking to themselves and nobody talking to each other. Like, this is crazy when you really like get to break it down of how humans, man, we fuck everything up, man. Damn. I wish we could just get the shit and still find a way to not have to rely on it so much, because that's exactly what's going to happen, to the point where people, where are my glasses? You see my glasses? Like, you have Apple AirTags for your glasses and tracking your like, man, this is crazy.
they've fast-tracked their own AI smart glasses. Expect stuff like real-world scene analysis, voice input through Siri, phone calls, live translations, directions that works. Their team behind the Vision Pro is leading it, and rumor has it the design will be like Meta's but better made. Classic Apple move. They're aiming for a release by the end of 2026, which feels like forever away, especially with Meta and Oakley about to drop this week.
That's not far. That's not far. That's right around the corner.
If Apple nails that tight iPhone integration like they did with AirPods and the Apple Watch, they'll probably dominate. But right now, Meta's ahead. They've got the products, the partnerships, and now potentially glasses for people who actually move fast. Well, that's it for today's video. Catch you in the next one. Peace.
Thanks, buddy. What do you think? What do you think? Would you get glasses? Would you have meta frames? Write it in the comments. Talk about it at your lunch breaks. But the future is here, ladies and gentlemen, and you cannot dodge it even if you wanted to. All right, so we're gonna end this off with some sports. Before we do that, I need to pull something. We're going to end this off with sports. Truth be told, too, there's not a ton of breaking sports news, I should say. Like, there's sports news, but there's not like something where you're like, oh, this has to be talked about. I'm not talking about Caitlin Clark right now. I mean, like she's doing great, but I'm not talking about her at all. Um, we're definitely gonna get into the NBA finals. So let's get to some sports. 1 second, please. Stand by. The doors are closing. All right, let's get to some sports. Oh man. Sports. Sports, sports, sports. Sports. Let's get to sports. All right. So, this is the biggest sports news so far. And, I get to talk about it. Oh, man, I get to talk about it. The NBA Finals. When is this game? Sunday at 8 o'clock. This is what Adam Silver wanted. So I'm not here to tell you anything about the storyline or is Halliburton gonna play, or I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. This NBA Finals may be one of the worst NBA Finals I've seen. Maybe one of the worst NBA Finals that I've seen. Outside of a watcher standpoint, so let me break it down, right? Let me break down why I think it's the worst NBA Finals that I've seen in a long time. These national, I listen to ESPN and Fox News, Fox Sports. They have to pump the product. The product, they cannot tell you how bad it actually is. So I'm here to tell you that this NBA Finals is boring as shit. The stars aren't stars. It is whack. To watch the games, to listen to the games, to listen to the commentators, the shit is whack. You're running. Yo, let me tell you something. The other day I was playing Call of Duty, right? And I was looking at the score. I was looking at the score, I was looking at the box score. And I caught second half I was watching. This is game 5, not game 6. Fam, for those who don't know, for those who aren't into sports, the Thunder and the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers are playing two small market teams, right? So you would think because they're small market, you're going to have to advertise a little bit better NBA, more storylines, more about the players, finding something that would make people be like, oh, I want to watch this player. These people that are giving these interviews, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Shea Gildress, boring as shit. Tyrese Halliburton, boring as shit. Now, granted, Tyrese Halliburton is on a hell of a streak. But it's like, yo, dog, what are we doing as a watcher? This shit is Doris Burke, Mike Breen, Richard Jefferson. Doris Burke, I heard Doris Burke say the other game, I forgot, I think it was game 4. I was watching with my girl. She said, oh, this is Oklahoma City's, they need to get back to their style of play. She said they need to get back to their style of play. And what she was insinuating at the time was, I think they had, did they have two bigs on the floor? They went away from their two big lineup. So she was like, they need to get back to their style of play. And they didn't have the two bigs on the floor. And then the two bigs got on the floor, and she was like, this is exactly what I'm talking about when blah, 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 blah. I got to find the fucking clip because I'm not doing it justice. I'm really not doing it justice. I got to find it now. And now I'm going to find it. And now I'm going to make sure I, Doris Burke, Hippo, Rick, Paul, NBA Finals. I don't know if it's gonna find. It's not final. Fucking 2016. I can't find it. I can't find it. And I don't even want to kill Dorsberg because it's really not her fault. Like, she's just not. They don't have it. They're not gonna find a clip though. I can't find it. But needless to say, man, this shit is boring, yo. Like, this is the point I was trying to make earlier. So I was watching the box score. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I was watching the box score, and Oklahoma City was playing. They were playing.
That sizzle, that's the soundtrack of Chipotle.
Oh, Oklahoma City was playing 10 people, so 5-man rotation, and Indiana was playing 11 people, right? So about 5, 10, 15, about 19 people played or something like that, 20, 21 people in total on the court. This is the NBA Finals, y'all. NBA Finals. Out of the 19, I think it was 19 people, 3 people were in double digits. And the double digits was like fucking 20, 15, and 12 and some other bull. It's like, yo, there's no excitement for this game. There's no passion. Like, obviously the players are fucking playing their hearts out and gotta respect it. But it's like, yo, dog, if I'm watching an NBA Finals, I shouldn't be falling asleep. It's just bad, yo. And I hope that Adam Silver learns his fucking lesson. And I hope that he never lets this happen again. Because in my opinion, I think the Knicks should have ended up being here. But 2 small market teams in the NBA Finals with bad advertisement. I don't even blame the players because the players are playing hard. They're doing what they got to do. But it's just like, yo, the advertisement around it ain't really feeling like an NBA Finals. This feel like just another game, like more games. I'm watching them, obviously, but like they're not entertaining. And I think that this I don't want to say this is bad for the NBA because it's not, because they're going to make their money, do whatever they're doing. It's just not the same. It don't feel the same. It don't feel like NBA on NBC. It don't feel like Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. It don't feel like fucking LeBron or KD or Giannis. There's no real, it's just plain basketball, which is great. This is awesome as a basketball fan. I'm a basketball fan, so I love that aspect of it. But the excitement and the cachet of it don't feel the same, man. When you think about the Super Bowl or you think about anything that is the final product, I understand the Super Bowl is one game and they play 6 to 7, however many games they could play. But the NBA and the NBA on NBC or TNT games, like they felt like something. When I was watching that Indiana Pacers play the New York Knicks, that felt like the playoffs. This don't have that. Sad, man. Like maybe I'm just getting older, but like, I don't know. I'm seeing no superstars. Tyrese Halliburton is the fucking superstar. They want to debate if he's a superstar or not. In my opinion, you can't be no superstar and score 3 points. You can't be a superstar in an NBA Finals game and score less than 10 points. You cannot do that. It doesn't make any sense. You could impact the game. You could hit game winners. But when we need you to play and play your ass off, that's what we need to do. So, you know, these NBA commentators are going to do their best to try to squeeze as much out of it as they can. But truth be told, I'm happy the NBA season is going to be over on Sunday. I will be watching the game. I will be gambling on it. But like I said, it's not something where I'm like rushing to it, where I have to feel like, oh, this is great. Like it don't feel the same. As we look, we see the box scores of the games. And you know, whatever. They all look closer than they actually are. Like this game here, I think was the blowout game. They blew them out. This one was a blowout. Like it's just not. It don't feel the same. This one was a blowout. The first game, and you know, I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things where I'm like, I'm happy it's over because I want to see where KD is gonna go. I want to see what the Lakers are going to look like. I want to see what my Warriors are going to look like. I want to see just how the NBA is going to evolve. I want to see what Dallas is going to do. I want to see if Cooper Flag is going to be nice, Ace Bailey. I want to see that edition of the NBA. What we have now is like, it's okay. Like, it's all right. I want to see the Knicks next year, who their coach is going to be. Like, all these storylines are way more interesting than the fucking NBA finals. And that's the point, right? Like, the KD trade talk should not be more important than the NBA finals. You know, who the next head coach of the New York Knicks is not more important than the NBA finals, but it is. Where Dallas getting the number 1 pick off of like a 1.8%, that was pretty big. But it's like these things are not as entertaining. So I hope they find a way and to do that. Shout out to the Florida Panthers. They won the NHL Cup, Stanley Cup. Shout out to them. And we'll kind of keep it there. And we're gonna end with this, right? So I thought this was pretty funny to me. So I've been spending more time watching baseball and just, you know, following the stories that they have. So if you don't follow baseball, that's fine. I do encourage people to watch it because it's entertaining when you start to understand it. And motherfuckers is making money. Like, sheesh, bro. But Rafael Devers was a third baseman for the Boston Red Sox. And in the offseason, so picture this, right? In the offseason, they told him, they didn't tell him actually, they just picked up Alex Bregman, who is another elite third baseman from the Houston Astros. They signed him. So as you would imagine, you know, you already have a great third baseman, and then you got another third baseman. So the Red Sox try to pull a fast one. They told Rafael Devers, you know, we're gonna need you to start, you know, doing ground balls and playing first base. He was like, I'm not doing that shit. I came here to play third base. Y'all got to figure it out. I'm not moving my position. He was adamant about this in the offseason. And I'm with him. Like, don't fucking sign somebody in my position and then think I'm just going to be okay with moving. I'm not doing it. So then the Boston Red Sox first baseman went out for the season. And they said, hey, we really need you to play first baseman. We need you to take some ground balls. He said, Rafael Devers said, I'm not doing that shit at all. I'm not doing that shit. So then they flew out to him, had a sit down, and he told them to do your fucking job and find a first baseman because I'm not playing that shit. So as you would imagine, this is probably causing like a rift between the management and the player. Like, you would imagine that it wouldn't be, you know, healthy for the locker room, and it really wasn't. So, long story short, they end up trading him. He does a press conference for the San Francisco Giants because that's what they traded him to. And this is what, and this is why I respect it because it's funny. But this is what he told him. He said, I'll play anywhere. That other shit is in the past. He said, I will play anywhere you need me to play, Giants. That other shit is in the past. So I can only imagine how the Red Sox feel, but ultimately it's their fault. Let me see. Here's the conference right here. Let's play it. But going to another team and telling them off your first conference that, yeah, I'll play wherever, I'm good, is fucking hilarious.
First off, I want to thank Greg Johnson and ownership for their willingness to make this deal happen. When I was first introduced to the Giants organization as a 21-year-old,
I remember Buster Posey too. But look at him smiling. He's happy as hell, cheesing. He good, bro. And he's in San Francisco, which is, I mean, San Francisco, Boston, San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was abundantly clear to me that this franchise has a rich history of players. San Francisco Giants fans love great players. Great players have the ability to transcend generations, and Rafael Devers is one of those players.
Slugging
Rafael
shit.
Devers is a dude. He's been to the top. He's won it all, and we can't wait to watch
I love when I love when white people describe people. He's a dude, man. He's just a dude, man. Like, he's a dude. And like, you know exactly what the fuck they're talking about, but it's just funny. Yeah, that guy's a dude, man. Like, he's the man. Like, that's what niggas say. Yo, he's the man. But white people, he's the dude, man. He's just a dude.
Watch him help us bring a World Series championship
Watch this,
back
though.
to San Francisco.
Rafi, we like to say
Watch this.
once a giant forever.
Uh-huh.
And I think you'll see all of the players that have worn the uniform that are still represented in the organization.
Absolutely.
And we do have a guy in the front row who's a pretty good lefty in this park. If you need any tips, he'll be in the cage at any time you need him. But really, we are just excited and thrilled
Cheesy.
and really looking forward to having you part of this Giants organization, Rafi. Thank you.
First of all, I just want to thank the Boston.
Hold up, he don't speak English? I thought he spoke some type of English. This motherfucker, he has to speak English. He probably just don't want to do it in the
Red
conference.
Sox organization for signing me at 16 and giving me the opportunity to become a big leaguer. I'm happy to be here with the San Francisco Giants and obviously happy to represent Latin America and also be happy to be able to meet Barry Bonds. And also I just want to say that the reason that the Giants brought me here is for a reason, and I will give my 100% effort out there on the field. Happy to meet my new teammates. I'm always a happy person, especially
Here it
with
come.
Willie out there. And also, I saw my teammates from afar. They always inspire me, and I'm now happy to be part of the team.
He's going to DH today. He's going to hit in the 3 spot. We're going to work him in and get him some ground balls at first.
There it is. That is funny. That is funny as fuck. Because he wasn't doing it before. And I'm going to show you an example in Boston.
Make sure
just so
he's
you know.
comfortable before we put him over there. And that's pretty much the way we look at it right now. A little bit of DH and a little
Look
bit
at
of
him.
first.
Look at him. You got to be sour as fuck as a Red Sox person if you've seen this.
I'm here to give my 100.
And you know what? To be honest with you, you know exactly what it was. It wasn't that they asked him to play first. It was the approach. If you're going to sign somebody in the offseason to take my position and essentially know you're going to have to move me, then clear that with me first. And if I say, yo, especially because he's a franchise player for those who don't know. So, like, I say it's okay. I'm okay with moving. But don't force me to do some shit that I don't want to do. And I respect that.
100%. I don't put any buts. They're the men in charge. I am here to play wherever they want me to play.
I'm here to play wherever they want me. Now that's funny. Now I gotta find the last thing I'm gonna find is a clip of him saying that he didn't want to do it for the Red Sox. Excuse me. Let's see. Here it is. Here it is, ladies and gents. Think I gotta get the ad for YouTube. Hey, YouTube.
Everybody, the Red Sox really want Alex Bregman to be the everyday third baseman and Rafael Devers to be the DH, but Devers is adamant he is not moving.
So are you saying if they ask you to DH, you won't do it?
No.
Just to provide context, of where he was at in San Francisco now versus to where he was before. Just look at him. Nigga didn't say a word in English. That motherfucker was speaking in English when they asked for that shit. No.
Can you expand on that?
I played third.
What if they...
I played third. Nigga, fuck y'all.
insist you have to DH?
No.
Even if they insist?
No.
See, now you have to understand why this is hilarious.
What about first base? No. He has a lot of pride.
No.
We know that, and he
Red Sox fucked this up.
He feels like he's a third baseman. He's going to work out as
No, he don't feel like he is a third baseman, and that's the whole point you're missing, bro.
a third baseman, and then we're going to make decisions accordingly. You know what? I'm not mad at him. It's part of who he is, and he's been vocal before, right? And at the end of the day, he loves it here. He likes the Red Sox. He wants to win here.
That nigga was gone months later. Man, that is funny. So we're gonna end this off. I want to create a segment. Well, I am creating a segment called the Work Line, and that, like I mentioned at the top of the podcast, where people can call in or they can submit questions to the workshow@gmail.com throughout the week, and I will answer them at this segment. So these questions are meant to be, help questions. You want some guidance? Is something pissing you off? Is your boss making you upset? Come to the work line. It could be anonymous, and we're gonna air them out, or we can get a solution. But this is the part of the show where I want people to be interactive and kind of see where my help for them could be, because I think I can, or I could tell people to fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Either way you slice it, the work line is gonna be open. So I'm going to the moving text at the bottom. I'm gonna make sure I add my email. So if you're watching and you want to submit something during the show, or if you hear this and you want to send something in, you can always send it in. I will be doing the podcast Friday, 7:30, 7 o'clock live, and you can send it in at the work show. So THEWERKSHOW@gmail.com. I will field your questions in the subject line. Just tell me what it's about. If you want it to be anonymous, I won't mention your name, but I will read it live on air, and we'll get to the bottom of whatever fuck is bothering you. So to give you just an idea of how my expertise can be used, let me see. Let me find some questions. All right, so let's see. Let's see. How do I find peace? How can I notice sooner than I need? A little more funnier. Sorry, y'all, I'm dragging it, but it's down the top. All right. Flavor of shit sandwiches. What the fuck? Yeah, these questions are out of this world. All right. If you could be, all right, this is a good one. If you could be one other person, who would that person be and why? So if I could be another person, who would it be and why? If I could be another person, who would it be and why? Okay. So I'm immediately thinking of a celebrity. If I could be another person for a day, I would want to be. If I could be another person for a day, I would say I would be. Who's my favorite? I would have been Kobe. I would have been Kobe for a day. I would have been Kobe for a day. Rest in peace. I would have been Kobe for a day because I would have liked to see how, how the fuck he got to who he became. And obviously I would take that information and I would bring it back the next day. But I would like to see how vigorous the workouts are. I would like to see how he mentally trained. And I would like to see how motherfuckers treated him. Like how people really treated him, how his teammates were, and just, you know, how his day-to-day life was. Cause that was one of my inspirational people was Kobe. So I would, for a day, if I could be Kobe for a day, I would be Kobe. Another person I might want to be for a day. Let me think. I can't think in specifics, but I would want to be a chef. Whoever a famous black chef is that owns his own shit, I would want to be that for a day. I'd want to see how a kitchen is ran. I want to see how food is prepped, how the spices and how all that shit makes people feel. And then I would want to be, I would want to see the end result of when people eat the food and how they feel about the food, the meetings you got to sit in, and the type of conversations you have to get there and all that shit. For a day, like a 5-star Michelin restaurant, I would like to see how that operates and to see like what the fuck I can do to be a better cook. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, that's what I would be. Kobe or a chef. Or Kobayashi. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. But yeah, all right, man. So this is gonna conclude the show. And I appreciate everybody who tuned in and who's listening. You can find this podcast at all places podcasts can be found. And continue to enjoy your day. The audio drops tomorrow. The video drops on Sunday. And we're gonna be working. So shout out to everybody who came through. And let's work. Peace out.